Seems now everyone can see the screen. Awesome. Yeah, so basically we have the pack agenda today. We will have exciting team announcement and also open discussion. And then we will close with the time for questions from community. So next, with that, let's kick things off. First, we'd like to introduce Tiang Han, VP of Engineering from Livepeer Inc., who will share opportunities for the community to contribute and collaborate through Livepeer infra and operations. Tiang, over to you.
Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. If you cannot, you can leave the message in the chat so I know. Okay, cool. So I'm really just acting on behalf of the Tom because Tom is at the moment, parental leave. So, when he comes back in a month's time, and he will, as the point of contact for me, Inc. to provide any engineering, updates for the community. So today my topic is really wanted to have response to what the community asked. In the last call, I think Titan and a couple of guys asked to say, hey, how can we be more involved in learning how to build the infrastructure? The Inc. is definitely leading on the way a little bit. Started to build the production system and scale it up. And how can we get the community involved? So I want to initiate this. It doesn't have to be, concluding today, but more invitation to the community to explore what would be the best way, we can work together. Because, to be honest, from the inside, we're also learning by doing it. So it will be the best, to have the community members join us, on the project basis, and then we do it together. So in that way, we actually can learn from each other, and knowledge can be shared, more naturally in that way. So that's the idea where I want to put forward for a community to discuss about it, share the feedback. What I can think of is to make coordination and collaboration a little bit easier. We're looking for one or two members from the community. They have about 20 hours per week, kind of the time commitment. It doesn't have to be long. It could be as little as 2 weeks or as long as 1 month. So we can work out the join the project on the upcoming infrastructure projects. It could be implementation and it could be also support, because we do find the support. It also give us a lot of opportunities to learn as well. So yeah, that's my basic, the invitation for the community. And yeah, any feedback, updates, in terms of the action items, I can be very approachable in the public channels. If you're interested, your team is interested, particularly as PE, teams, you already have the people funded and they have a, interest and desire to do this, and then, you can approach me. So I think we can work out something from there. Yeah.
One note on my side, Cheng, is does it make sense to maybe make a thread in the new core dev channel? All the SPs are able to communicate in that channel and maybe start having the conversation of who might want to participate in this.
Okay, cool. Good suggestion. Yeah, I will do that right after this call. So yeah, please, approach me from that thread. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, and good call from Rick. SRE, Site Reliability Engineers. Yeah, the definition of SRE. Awesome. Thanks, Tiang. Cool. So thanks, Tiang, for sharing the SRE involvement proposal and how it could strengthen collaboration between inference service port and our community. Next, let's introduce Rick from the ASP team, who will update us on the latest priorities for his team. Rick, the floor is yours. Next slide, please.
Yes, I hope that I fixed my problems now. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes.
Amazing, finally. So, as we had a proposal pass last month, thank you so much for all the support there. We're really excited. So first, do a step back to give you an explanation of what the AISP is. We have been starting or spearheading the AI journey in last year, January, together with the ecosystem team. As you know, and you will see in this call as well, there are a lot more contributor groups on this. And as you heard from Chang as well, the Inc. is now also really invested in this. So our current priorities, there I will share a roadmap link where you can look at the roadmap of the AISP, also the mission statement and what we're planning to do for the whole year. So one of the most important things I think is that we closely work with Inc. To make the real-time journey a success. We are part of 2 of the pods from Inc. So that will be the infra pod that Chang just talked about, but also the DevX pod, which is more focused on the developer experience. So what pipelines are on the network? How can we give people the best experience to get their pipelines on the network? So first of all, we have a really high priority on working on the real-time pipelines there together with Inc. Apart from that, as stated in the proposal, we are still supporting batch and generative AI jobs. In a lesser extent right now, so currently 1 engineer on that. So we currently offer support for the agent SPE so that they can have a successful launch. Working currently on the LLM merge, on selection algorithm fixes and payment fixes there. But also we are still merging in and reviewing some things that we did in the last periods. So for the next months, the focus will be on wrapping up the things for batch and generative AI, having 1 engineer work still on generative and NNJ, and batch jobs to support groups that already are on the network. Generalizing that a bit, and one thing that I'm also adding as a discussion point is the on-ticket distinction. Because currently we can see the fees of the AI network, but this is done in a hacky fashion, and it should be, since the network is now growing, more gateways on the network. It's important to really ensure that we can see what fees come from transcoding, what fees come from real-time AI and normal AI. So for the next months, as I said, it will be that focus, real-time, batch generative, and catching up with some of the work that we did in the last period. So I think that's the most, that's in a nutshell, that's what we're going to do. You can check out the links that I will share in the chat, whereas the full mission is there, and also a more breakdown of the items that we're doing. If there are any questions, always feel free to ask me or any of my engineers. And I think that's it from my side for now.
Awesome. So for the real-time node, AI node installation, I know John is working super hard on making this step simple. So do you want to share the demo?
Yeah, the floor is John's.
Says I'm not able to share my screen though. It says
Hold on a
disabled.
second. You should be able to. Let me check something. Yeah, you should be able to. Maybe
I'll rejoin.
yeah, rejoin. I can also stop sharing for a second. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've fixed all the permissions in the server. So, any luck now, John?
No, it's still disabled. Maybe it's just 1 person per. Yeah, it's just 1 person for these groups.
Okay, go ahead.
Awesome, I can see the screen.
All right, great. So we've been working hard to build like a dev container that just containerizes this whole development experience, focused around Comfy Stream, as well as enabling like a better build process for our AI runner in the Comfy UI development process. So I'll go ahead and kind of show what this looks like. The idea is we're starting out with a base container that has Comfy UI pre-installed with a set of custom nodes that are optimized for Stable Diffusion 1.5 workflows. You'll still have to build your engines after you set up the container, because the static engines have to be built for the GPU that they're going to run on. And we're ongoing improving this process. But I've actually got the containers started here. The process for a new developer would be pretty quick. They would just pull Comfy Stream repository, download the base container, and then reopen the folder as the dev container. So it's actually based on a RunPod image. So if you've worked with Comfy UI and RunPod, this will look a little familiar. Essentially, you're in Workspace and you have Comfy UI here, but you're also in the Comfy Stream directory. So any changes you make, you can push to GitHub and so on. So just to start Comfy UI, I'll jump into that directory. We've already got the Comfy UI content environment activated. We will Python.py listen. And also building some launch configs for this. I had those yesterday, but disk space issues and lost a few files. So Comfy UI is up. We can access that. Usually at localhost. I'm running this on a remote system with port forwarding. So here's my instance. And the first time you start Comfy UI, you'll have like some default workflows loaded. For anyone who's run the like Yanden's workflow, this might look familiar. Basically, you're taking something like a Dream Shaper DMD weights, and you're building this into a static engine. This is the Onyx export, which is really the first step, and the second step is to build the engine. So in Comfy UI, you can actually see that happening here. First step is done, and then I think I already have an engine, and this one takes a while, so in the interest of time, I'll just go ahead and jump into this workflow here. Workflow has some files missing. Good look. We do need to build the engine. And we also have to build the depth anything engine. So that's detailed here. And this will also be automated here shortly. So now we're building like real-time workflows pretty quickly. I put together a basic README, just to kind of go over this. There's a draft PR on the Comfy Stream repo. It's very ticky-tacky right now. We've been working on this a few days, but mostly just getting everything that we can in there, like the examples, workflows, the model downloads, and just working through all the gotchas, so to speak, there. But yeah, I'll be doing a code cleanup today, and then also working with Kiang and the Infra team. One of the advantages to this change we're making is going to allow us to use the same setup script for custom nodes in our production environment as well as development experience. So that's going to be a huge advantage. And those engines do take a while. I think this is the 4090 I'm running it on. But it should be done in just a second.
So John, to explain for non-technical audience, what's an engine? So while we're waiting.
Yeah, so an engine is like a pre-compiled model. Think about a Stable Diffusion model. Every time they run, if you change the parameters, you'll notice the first time it runs, it's a little bit slower than the second time. And that's usually because it has to do a little pre-work and loading things into memory and so on. So what we're essentially doing is pre-compiling it with a specific set of parameters like 512 by 512 resolution, or a certain frame rate, or a certain type of prompt, or trained on LoRa. So when we build those engines, we're kind of baking all that in so that we're able to get faster FPS and process video a lot quicker.
Thanks. And
Looks
in
like
this demo, what are you using?
I'm using the DreamShaper 8 model from Yonden's workflow.
We have a question from Papa Bear. Does this still require the forked version of Comfy?
No. Let's see. I can put a link to the Docker file. It's a little like rough at the moment. There's a lot of longer commands in here that we're going to shorten up, but you'll see it's using the Comfy Anonymous Comfy UI instance. Now, Comfy UI, the forked version is still used by Comfy Stream as part of the Comfy, we'd say the Comfy Stream API, so to speak. But as far as for developers, they're working in the normal Comfy UI. That makes sense. Right, so this will throw an error because when you build the engine, you have to run it with run Comfy UI with a certain parameter, and then when you actually run the engines, you have to run a different parameter. But I just wanted to validate that all the models are there. So now that I've built Depth Anything and DreamShaper engine, I can see there's no red errors or anything. So if you forget to run Comfy UI with a certain flag, this is the error that you'll see, the CUDA im alloc async and so on. We're just going to save this so we don't lose what we're doing. Open a new, go back to our terminal here and just restart Comfy UI with different flag. Just disable CUDA im alloc. There. Back up, we'll just refresh. And now we can run our workflow. And even with this workflow, it's a little slow on the first run, but you'll see some optimizations if we crank this up to like 16 or so. You can loop it. Oh,
This transformation is working. Super cool.
yeah, there we go. So now we can get to where we're doing it over and over. Just takes a while to load it into memory. That's kind of the Comfy Stream setup experience that we see. And then, yeah, so I can easily jump into running Comfy Stream and turn this into a live video if you would like. We still have time, but I don't want to run over time.
Yeah, we still have a few minutes.
Okay. I just have another copy of Comfy Stream here. Currently, the UI, as far as I know, has to be ran on the same system that you're using a webcam to stream with. I think we're working to improve that or test that and find a better way, but it would be nice if you could run the Comfy Stream UI on a remote server. Right. So open another terminal and we'll be right in our Comfy Stream environment just from the start there. Again, I'm going to add a launch config for this, but we can just start Comfy Stream. It'll just sit there. So that's the API side. And now we're going to launch our node UI, localhost 3000s. For some reason, Firefox does not like it. Use Chrome. See, it's loading. Just to make this interesting, I'm going to change this to like enter one. It's kind of cool. Bring that down instead of running that over. We're going to export this as an API workflow. That here. And FPS, I was able to get 20 out of this yesterday. We'll see if we can do the same. Hopefully the webcam input works. Yeah. Hello, everyone. And then we're just going to wait to see some traffic show up here on our API. And Ryan's made some really amazing nodes. One of the neat ones you can add is on Comfy UI, there's a webcam capture. It'll actually just take a snapshot of your camera, like a frame rate almost, which is really helpful. All right, we can see Comfy Stream is starting up now. Video is sent through. And I'm out of memory on this server. Give me just a second. Maybe shut down some stuff over here.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, in the interest of time, yeah, maybe we can move to the next topic. But super cool demo. Yeah, like it literally just take less than like a few minutes to see it's up running, which is amazing. Yeah, I know like in the just a week ago, right? It take hours. So
Yeah.
thanks for the
Yeah,
effort.
very close to live Winter Wonderland. But yeah, thanks for your time, and hopefully you'll all be able to run this yourself within the week or so, pretty soon. There's already a PR up. I'll drop the draft PR in here just for visibility, but we're still cleaning it up and making it better.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and also seems we already see like Comfy Stream working super well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, Sheehan,
Awesome.
can you share your screen because I have to
Yeah,
be able to share.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome. Can you see it?
No, I cannot see a screen.
Unfortunately, it's loading.
Okay.
It might be an internet thing on your end.
It's still loading.
Correct.
Let me.
I can see it.
Oh, can anyone else see it too?
Sorry, we can't see it on the recording on Twitter. So you might have to leave and come back. I'm not sure.
Yeah, can Chang try to share it? It sounds like the screen you are sharing is good. Yeah, while I'm fixing my internet issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I dropped the PowerPoint in the chat.
Hello.
I just inviting you up since you'll be speaking for the Agent SP.
Yes, sir. Should I start now?
I can see it, and yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I cannot see it, but I suppose that's okay. I have one open the window anyway. So hello guys, my name is Define. My real name is George. I'm Bloxend and AI engineer for
more than 3 years now. I entered Livepeer during the Encodex Livepeer hackathon, and I met Titan, and we started working on the ELISA protocol, and eventually we launched the SP together with Phoenix and Mayor. And we currently building the the plugin for ELISA, which will enable the ELISA agents to be converted to VTubers. Before I go deeper on that, let me talk a bit about what we have accomplished and what are those protocols like ELISA that we are working with and what we expect from there. So ELISA is a the repository is some code that you can launch any agent really quickly and interact with different applications such as Discord or Twitter. So if you want to, right now, you can go to Eliza and select that to launch your agent on Twitter, and you can give that agent the characteristics and the character and the history and the knowledge that you want to give to them, and you can do that for Discord and many other platforms. So Eliza has this very modular design which allow you to basically put your code there and have the agents be extended with it. So if you want to create some custom functionality for an agent, you have an agent to Twitter, for example, and you want them to create a specific kind of image or to check the internet before doing a post, you can do that with a plugin. And so after we found out about Eliza, we integrated Livepeer AI real-time inference services, both the image service and the LLM service. So that is being done, and it's being merged with the Eliza develop repo. And on the next official update that they will do, the Livepeer inference will be officially on the Eliza network, and therefore all is the everyone that uses Eliza, and a lot of developers that do. It's one of the most popular, and it was for time the most popular repository on GitHub. Will be able to utilize the Livepeer inference service. So this is what we did already, and we plan to publish the plugin which will allow any agent that you have on Eliza to be converted to a VTuber and autonomously stream. So the agent that you're already using, or that a new one that you want to create, you can say that I want to launch that agent on Twitch, and that agent will stream autonomously. So currently we're on the architecture, and this will finish today. There are some notices with architecture. There are some places that need to be cleared out so that we know where exactly to allocate specific resources. They have already asked Eric and John, and thanks very much for the reply. So the first thing is where should the live streaming happen? Because as the real-time pipelines are not out yet, okay, we have to infer how the live streaming process will happen. Okay, so so as I do understand, the process that we have now to send data to Confluence, to communicate from the UI to the backend, where we define what is the URL of the server, what is the workflow, and what camera we want to use. This is the input that the pipeline will receive. If there is a different case and the pipeline architecture radically differs from the architecture of the ComfyStream communication, then we'll have to do some architecture changes. So this is why one of the discussion topics is real-time AI development roadmap of Livepeer and or AI Sphere. We would like to know what's going on there so we can adapt the architecture accordingly. And the other is general about the about generally about what is the real-time AI development roadmap so that we can also adapt our development schedule over that and not duplicate work.
Amazing. Cool. So I saw there are also some discussion topic that we can leave in the end. Thank you so much for the update. Cool. So next, Mike. So next, Mike, would you like to give an update for the Cloud SPE team? It seems Mike is not on the stage. Can someone bring Mike up?
Hey, how you doing? Well, I think ours is pretty basic today. I think the Livepeer Cloud SPE has been working on just keeping our current infrastructure up to the latest software. So we've done some work to upgrade to the latest Go Livepeer 8.1 release. We've been focusing on supporting the AI agent SPE as they embark on their ELIZA LLM work, just making sure that everything is in good order and able to help run their pilots and do their testing. So far things seem to be good. Um, we're still working on our 2025 SPE roadmap, just trying to nail down a lot of the details surrounding the Livepeer Explorer and how Livepeer Cloud can actually help maintain that stack and keep it going forward and allow more open contributions and actively make changes to it. So I think right now that's been our priority, and we're going to continue to focus on trying to get together a proposal that you know, details what it might look like if Livepeer Cloud, you know, took over the management of the Explorer app. So those are our focus right now. I mean, it seems pretty basic, but as you guys know, we're in Discord. We're doing everything we can in any other areas that we can focus on. So, but I think that's pretty basic and simple. So that's where we are. We don't have any blockers and we don't have any other discussion topics. I think there will be more to come, but that's our sweet and simple.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I actually have a question like for the AI test, right, to support AI agent SPE. Would you like to describe, the technical components around that?
Well, as folks might understand, is that currently the the ELIZA framework integrates with OpenAI. So ChatGPT has APIs that you can make calls to from ELIZA to actually create your AI agent. So I think the team, the AI SPE, the AI agent SPE, has been working on creating an integration for the ELIZA framework to use the Livepeer network. And obviously, with every configuration, there's going to be some URL pointing to some server. In most cases, it's usually OpenAI, but in this case, it would be the Livepeer cloud API. And that API is the work that the team has been doing in the AI SPE to allow LLM work into Livepeer. So they've been making it compatible with OpenAPI so that anyone using ELIZA can point to OpenAPI, or they can point to Livepeer and start bringing that demand into Livepeer. So the cloud's role is we manage the Livepeer.cloud AI gateway. So we have a free to use gateway that folks can send requests to and, do their testing. So
Awesome.
I think it's a standard gateway stack, right? I think you run your gateway node, and our gateway is configured to use the Livepeer orchestrators. So there's however many orchestrators are running the LLM model, we will send work to them as work comes to us. So I think in its basic form, that's how the stack works. Is that clear?
Yep. Awesome. And Chang have a question. What's the timeline for Livepeer Explorer taking over?
This is in the early phases. I think we are, like I said, right now we're just planning out what it actually would look like to manage Livepeer Explorer and take it over. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that are, that Livepeer Inc. has a lot of control over. So there's a lot of discussions that have to happen. We're preparing our list of questions and our things that we think might be important to manage that. But once we have that information, we'll share it off to the broader community in Livepeer Inc. so that we can get feedback on it. I mean, it is a big deal. So we'll have to continue to work on it. I hope to have something soon, though, in the next week or two that folks can start to review a basic of a proposal. But as I mentioned, there's really a lot going on there.
Awesome. And this is the forum, to chat about those ideas too. We have the right people in the room. Like like for example, we have, a lot of functions we want to add to Livepeer Explorer, right? Like let's discuss the list. Yeah, I think this is perfect forum for that. Also, like
Yeah, no,
John.
that's good. I definitely will be reaching out in this group to talk to the relevant parties. I think right now we're just still trying to get our ducks in a row so that we can even ask intelligent questions and try to explain to a lot of people what's involved. But I think we're close, so we'll have something soon.
Well, awesome. Thanks, Mike. Next, we have Aquarian, like have exciting news to share with us.
Thanks, G-Lin. Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a really quick announcement from our end. So after trying and failing to spell aquarium for people several times on Discord calls without success, we decided to go ahead and rebrand so for those that have been those have been known me for a while, way back in the early Livepeer days, Streamplace was the name of the company that I was trying to get started immediately before my job at Livepeer, before I started working with y'all. So I'd been sitting on the domain stream.place for a really long time. I think it's really good compared with Aquarium, where I had to explain the .tv. You already know what the website is for stream.place. So I think it's a much better name. So other than that, it doesn't have anything to do with the old project, other than it's me involved, and it doesn't mean anything different for what we're doing. We're still building exactly the same software, but we are just rebranding. I'm working to get rid of there's still a few lingering references to Aquarium, but I'm working to move through them all and get everything fully rebranded this week. Past that, you can see this is a sign. So we did our first event as a team up at NW Hacks in Vancouver. It's the Western Canada's largest hackathon. Million college kids building all sorts of interesting, cool things when I was doing lots of hackathons with Livepeer. NW Hacks may have been my favorite. Just a really nice atmosphere, really great team that puts that together. So we were getting that out in front of everybody there, and got a lot of really good feedback. Got a lot of people interested in following the projects. Also saw a bunch of people building on Livepeer. Actually, we had 4 different teams that used Livepeer Studio for building, adding video streaming to their apps, that sort of thing. So really cool to see that collaboration happen. And we will, more news to come on terms of our initial sort of publicly usable release. We are just running down a couple of bugs on our WebRTC playback to make that usable, but expect in the very near future an announcement that you can come either operate your own Streamplace node or stream on our hosted service on stream.place.
Awesome. Exciting. Yeah, I love the name. And
Thank
also
you.
like there is a QR code, right? Like could scan to join the community. Right?
Oh yeah. I'll drop that link in here too. I realize I should have put discord.stream.place on there, but if I grab an invite link here, I'll drop one in the chat. But yes, we've been getting our Discord up and running for notifications on new versions of the software, when we go live with live streams, all of that sort of thing. So that will be available there shortly.
Awesome. And excited to see, what the college kids are building, right? Using Livepeer. So if later you can share some examples, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, it seems there's a great synergy between, the streaming platform and, those awesome AI pipelines we are building. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and lastly, we have about like 15 minutes to cover the open discussion topics. Yeah, so Chang, if you are still here, yeah, so you're here. I know you would love to share some open source best practice, right? And we are exactly, all contributing to the ComfyStream open source projects and along with the community. So if you could share some best practice, that would be awesome. And yeah, so let's kick the discussion off with this topic first. Let me bring you up to the stage. Yeah, so I sent the invite to speak. If you accept it, then you will be on the stage.
Hello, hi. I didn't prepare anything, for the best practice for the open source contribution. Really, I'm just starting this working thread, probably with John and Brad, in the ComfyStream thread, because I'm only took the observation lately in the past week also in terms of how we work together. So I think in probably 2 or 3 weeks time, I can share a little bit more based on the learning we have. And at the moment, I think we already saw something quite interesting. I have to say, when I observed how, AISP team working with Inc. on the effort to bring the ComfyStream streamline, not only for the local development experience, but also make that smooth transition for the hosted experiences. I think, both sides are contributing to this open source ComfyStream public, product, we're all excited about. I think, I already see some good practice emerging. Probably today you already saw the, early result coming from the John, shared, in his great demo. I think, I will, bring more updates and in terms of my reflection and to the community in the future calls. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It's a discussion, where we can all share the observations and yeah, and just make the Comfy Stream projects even stronger. Awesome.
Yeah, and then also at the same time, I think today my invitation to the community to join us, from the discipline of SRE, I mean DevOps side to join us is also a way for me and together with community to explore how can we even operate our infrastructure more openly together with community involvement. I think I don't know what would be the best practice. Only we tried it and learn from the challenges we all face, and then I think that can be something we can share back and then inspire the more wider collaboration on that front. So I think if you respond to my invitation, I just did in the general channels, and that'll be a great start as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Definitely
So now,
appreciate. So I just wanted to add, appreciate your technical guidance and leadership too, and input from the Infer team side. Thank you.
Thank you.
awesome. Cool. I also saw another discussion topic brought up by the Define agent. We would love to discuss the roadmap and how we can all collaborate as cross-functional efforts. So over to you.
Hello. Yes, this topic was brought up from me, and so there is an immediate technical specification that the agent span needs to have regarding how the real-time APIs will behave, and if they will behave as the ComfyStream front-end to backend communication behaves right now. I think John is the best one for answering this one. And the second topic is what efforts what is the short-term roadmap for the AI pipeline so that we do not duplicate our efforts when engineering on ComfyStream.
Right. I think those are great discussion points. Yeah, we were looking earlier in the week at like how can we do LLM inference or some kind of input to this VTuber framework, from Comfy UI. And then just hearing more about the ELIZA framework and architecture and how that integrates, right? I've had a lot of questions about how this will work, and maybe I'm getting two things confused as far as like the VTuber and like the Livepeer AI agent and ELIZA. But I think of that input being LLM. So obviously, what we need is create some type of custom node for Comfy UI, but which components will run in Comfy UI, I think, are a good question to start with.
All of it. So all the VTuber we run inside Comfy UI. So what exact data will you send from the plugin? It's not cleared out right now. It will be cleared out in half an hour. So will you send an image? How much data would you send? But the output, the VTuber will live inside the Comfy UI. So instead of getting your inputs from the camera, you will get your inputs from the output of the Comfy stream directly. You will use the initial image that you will be given, and maybe you will have some simcast comparison of how similar is the image for which you generate right now, the next frame, and how similar is that to the initial image. But it will all happen inside Comfy UI. But I'm not sure where to put the live stream utility. Do I need to add that utility to ComfStream? Because I'm not sure how, as I said before, how the AI pipelines work or will work. So what are their inputs? And yes.
Yeah, I
So
can try to. Go ahead, Rick.
no, I just wanted to check on the topic real-time AI development roadmap of Livepeer Inc. and AISP because we're getting a little bit technical now. I think that's okay. But just define, what's your first question about where your group should be involved and where my group should be involved and where Inc. should be involved and how we can collaborate in the best way, communicate in the best way to prevent overlap there, and that, for example, ensure that you have all the features needed for your SPE to build on top of the core network real-time stuff. Is that the question, or is it more about really the implementation? That's what I quickly wanted to check.
Exactly. This is the main question: how to be aware of each other short-term and even long-term objectives, so that we don't put unneeded time in any kind of task.
Yeah, I think. No, you go ahead, John. You go
Oh,
ahead
sorry.
first.
I think it's an open question about how to integrate VTuber into the Livepeer network. As far as what its inputs and outputs are, right? Because the output of VTuber is a video stream, and it actually has like a UI very similar to Comfy Stream. I think it's going to be a matter of kind of digging into VTuber and building that to a custom node and figure out what the outputs are. On the Comfy Stream side, like tensor data you can load in and out, basically.
So John, I do not. So you have put like the VTuber will be part of the config UI nodes as we discussed together with another meeting, because this can be done as inference in the live network. So my question is, if in your view, like because you guys developed that, as I understand, do the pipelines that will be released will take radically different inputs than the inputs that they're given right now to the ConfigStream backend from the UI?
That's a good question. Like today, you can stream RTMP into Go Livepeer. That's kind of what the interface looks like. You'll also be able to do WebRTC, but as far as like Comfy Stream's really your proof of concept to model around because it's going to take the same outputs on our actual AI worker side. So essentially today it has a load tensor and save tensor. It's more like I believe a NumPy or tensor data. That's being extended to support other types, but in general, I think if you look at that, that'll guide where you need to look. And it's probably I know as Rick said we're running short on time, but yeah, there's in Comfy Stream repo in the nodes folder you'll find those nodes.
Yeah, and so I think for some next steps, and Shilin, correct me if I'm wrong. So I think for the collaboration, it will be really the best way to move forward. This is also an update that Anne wanted me to share. If you can see my screen, or at least my camera, in the Discord server, there is a new channel. It's called in here, if you can see it, it's called the Core Dev channel. I will share it in there as well. And that basically the decision there was to ensure that the community really has transparency in all the development that is going on, because to give transparency says people can see what's being developed, and also if you have questions, you can go to the Builder Lounge and ask a question about the thread that you see in the core dev channels. There already are an LLM release thread, there are a pipeline images thread. And I think the next step here to really coordinate is creating a thread as well in the channel, define you are in there as well. And then based on that, we can collaborate, share roadmaps in that sense. So you can share when do you want to release this new streaming agent. Then Inc, for example, Shilin can coordinate there as well. So when do we have the components ready there? And based on that, I think that would be a good way to start collaborating. And then also it is the question, I think, Chang or Chilin, correct me if I'm wrong. So mainly the core network stuff will be developed by our group. I think you can help on components similar to what you did with dev container, and then really working in a close collaboration to ensure that what is built as a design partner can be used by the agent SPE implement your launch as well. So maybe Ceiling has some extra information on how we can improve that collaboration, can share roadmaps and align.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Yeah, I think like let's create a thread in the core dev channel and then we can go from there. Yeah, definitely see a great way to collaborate there.
I will create a thread for us to discuss.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, last one, like as like Rick, that's your discussion topic. Do you yeah, do you want to like spend just a quick minutes to to get some inputs from community?
Yeah, so I think we can also move that over. There is currently not a real priority on that, and we're over time, so let's skip that to the next core dev meeting maybe.
Awesome. Cool. With that being said, that concludes our meeting today. Yeah, super excited to hear those updates and definitely see a lot of collaboration opportunities. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And yeah, we have a lot of follow-up topics that we will, come back in next 2 weeks to, share some more information around that too. Awesome. Cool. Thanks everyone. Bye.